welcome to Lisa Brown, Stamp with Lisa Brown on my Savi Sunday. And today we are going to do a candle holder. If you live in Northeast Ohio, as I do, there is a candle company located in Medina, Ohio called Root Candle, and they make fabulous candles. And so this candle is approximately 3.5 by 3.5. Lid goes over just a tiny bit more. So I'm making a candle holder that will package this nicely as a gift. So we're going to start out with some merlot cardstock, and I have 2 pieces, and they need to be 7.5 by 11. So I'm going to go ahead and cut both of those down to the 7.5 inches. Okay. And then starting one piece at a time. On the 11-inch side, on your long side, we need to score it at 3 inches. Six and a half inches. And 8.25. Okay, then we're going to turn it this way, and we're going to score on the 7.5 inch side at 3.5. And 7. Now when I turned my paper to my 7.5 inch side, I did turn it counterclockwise, and that's important. Okay, we want this little skinny side over here. You want that on your right hand side. Then what we're going to do is, on the very first score line, we're going to bend this back. And I'm going to take my pick tool, and I need to make 4 little marks, 4 little score marks. And we're going to do it on that fold. So the first one is 1 3/8. I'm just going to make a little mark right here. And then my next one is at 2 1/8. 4 7/8. And 5 5/8. Okay. Whoops. There we go. All right. Now, I'm going to remove my cutter for just a moment. And I don't know if you'll be able to see these little tick marks. So here's my little marks that I made. There's 4 of them. And what I want to do is, I now want to score from this tick mark on the left down to the next score line on the left. And then the tick mark on the right, I want to go over here into this corner down to this score line. Same thing here, from this left one down to this left, and from the right one over down into this right. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do that with my paper folded back. And I'm going to use a ruler, and I'm going to use my stylus, and I'm going to try to press it a little bit hard so that I get that score to go through the other side of the paper. Line that up and just give that a couple of presses there. Go to this side. So again, the left tick here down to the left side. And the reason I want to give that some pressure is because I need to see it on the other side of the paper that I have folded back. Okay. So when I open this, if I flip it over, I should be able to see very lightly. I can see those score lines. There's one going right through there, and here's the other one coming up through here. So I can faintly see them on the other side. Okay. So then what I want to do is I want to eliminate on the top portions. So let's flip this over, and I want to remove this triangle up here. So I'm going to cut along this score line. And then this score line, I can see it better when I flip my paper over. So that's why I did that. Okay, so we moved that triangle. Now we want to do the same thing over on this side. This was our original score line here. And then, because we pressed hard, I can see my score line coming through here. I'm going to cut in on this tab to that score line, creating this tab over here. And I'm going to miter that a little bit, cut in at a little bit of an angle. And I can fold that in. Now I can cut on that score. And just cut this whole piece off here. Okay. And we can also miter this here if we wanted to. Okay. So now I need to, here's the original side. Here's my bottom two triangles. And then because I folded this back, it created two score triangles up here, and that's what I need to eliminate. So the easiest way to do that is I'm going to fold my paper in half like so, and now I can see this top score line impression that we made up in here, and I want to eliminate that. So I'm going to come in on that middle and we're going to cut this off. Okay, so that when we open up, that middle is now cut off like that. Okay. And let's see, I'm going to just miter this off up here a little bit on our tab. And down here, I want to eliminate this bottom rectangle. So I'm just going to go to the score line that's there and cut up here. Okay. Now you could have cut this at a miter to begin with, but I do want to miter this, and mitering just means at a slight angle. So we're just going to give this a little bit of a slight angle. Okay. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut up the middle, but I want miters on both sides, so I'm just going to do that from the get-go. Save myself one cut. So up at an angle, up at an angle, and now that is mitered. And then we're going to also miter this side over here. Okay. All right, so now that we have this piece is now ready to go. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to score and cut my second piece of cardstock that is 7.5 by 11. So again, starting on the 11-inch side, we're going to score first, and then I'm going to make that quarter turn up and score on my 7.5-inch side. So I'm going to speed the camera up, and so we can go a little bit quicker. Okay, now that all of my cutting is done, you can see that these are pretty much identical. And we want to go ahead and score all of our score lines. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do that. Now that my score lines are all scored, we're going to go ahead and assemble this, lay this out as flat as possible, and we are going to run some multi-purpose adhesive on the tabs over here. And we're going to line this up and lay this over. I'm using the multi-purpose glue just to give me a little bit of time for some alignment. Give that a press. Okay. And then we're going to fold this over. Oops, sorry. We're going to flip this over. And then we're going to fold this over and put glue on these tabs on this side. And then we're going to fold this. And that should align pretty good. So that's got pretty good alignment there. All right. And that's the basis for our box. Fold it this way. Okay. And then this is our bottom, and these are our side panels. So while I have this still able to go flat, I am going to go ahead and adhere I'm going to go ahead and adhere some of the plush poinsettia specialty paper. It comes in 3 different designs. There's some holly leaves and berries, some poinsettias, and then this really pretty designer pattern here. Just a little ornate, and we're going to use this. And I have 4 pieces. And they're each cut to 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Okay, and then we're going to put the bottom of our box together. And by doing that, we're just going to fold in our flaps like so. And then we're going to glue. We're going to glue each flap together. So I'm just going to put some glue on here and bring this flap in. And then we're going to put some glue on there and bring this flap in. And final bit of glue. Bring that in, kind of making sure everything is squared up. I'm holding that. I'm going to hold that for a minute. And then flip it over. And I'm going to put my hand inside and rub this down. Okay. So this measures, it's going to measure 3.5 inches square, the bottom part of your box. So this is what's going to hold whatever you have. And then that's where I'm going to put my root candle in the bottom of the box. Just going to drop it in there. So you can really get a lot of stuff in there. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to pop in each of the corners. So you're going to work on your score lines and just give them a little pinch in each of the corners if they don't just automatically pop in for you if you didn't get a good crease on them. And you can just kind of pinch them in like I'm doing. Okay. And then those will just all fold in. And the tops here, you might have to pop them in, okay? And you give these a little pinch, like so. And there is our container. Let's tie some ribbon on here. And that's all you need to do is to tie this off with ribbon. Now that's the hard part, is holding this together and getting your ribbon on there. And just tie that close. I'm going to turn it on its side so I can see what I'm doing. And we're going to tie a little bow on here. Okay, get some ribbon. Give these little ribbons a little snip at the ends. Okay, I could have made that a little bit longer. But there's that. And then I took our wrapped in Christmas stamp set. And there's some really pretty stamps in here. I especially love this Christmas blessings to you and yours. But I've chosen a little something for Christmas, and then I punched it out with our lovely Labels Pick-a-Punch here to give a decorative end to it. And I just cut the Whisper White is 1 inch wide, and I had cut it to about 2 1/2, 2 3/4, and got that punch off. And then the Merry Merlot is 1 1/4 inches wide by, I had cut that to 3 inches. And we can just go ahead and take a little mini glue dot and put that on the back. And put a little tag right here on your things, on your container. So I hope you liked this video. You can for sure customize this for any occasion. You can fill this with a whole variety of items, and because it's definitely a pretty big box. So I hope you liked this video on Savi Sunday. I am doing some Christmas wrapping for the month of December, some gift ideas and wrapping. Have a great day.